Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm showing you this gorgeous classy Christmas set. I'm absolutely obsessed with this set. So I've got the lovely Georgia back who is gone for a full set. So I've applied the tips, prepped the nails. Georgia doesn't like her cuticles being touched at all. So if you're wondering why some of her cuticles are a bit outgrown, that is the reason why. She literally hates her cuticles being done. So on the pinky here, I'm going in with Glitterarty Leaps and Bounds glitter, and this is from their autumn collection, and it is a gorgeous green colour, and it's got hints of blue, gold, silver. It's got all different colours in there. And I'm just applying that with a small bead of the CJP Crystal Glass. Trying to do it as thin as possible because, of course, I'm going to go in and encapsulate this in clear. And the brush that I'm using is, of course, the Liz Guild brush, because I wouldn't use any other brush. I absolutely love this brush. And that's available from the CJP website. On the ring finger, we're going to go in with a candy cane nail. So I'm just going in with a thin layer of clear acrylic. And this is just used as a base so that the colour doesn't stain the nail. And also, so when we come to do a redesign, I can file back down to this clear base. And now I'm going in with the CJP Bright White. And I've drained the back of that bead. For some reason, I don't know why, I find the CJP Bright White a little bit difficult to work with unless you really drain the back of the bead. It seems to be quite runny, I don't know why, but I just find it a little bit runnier than what the Snow White is. And I'm just applying that to the corner of the nail in a diagonal at the cuticle area, and just using the side and the belly of my brush just to get that a little bit sharper. But I'm not too worried because I am going to be going in with a file in between anyway. If you think you've done it a little bit too thin, you can just add a little bit more. If you're not going to encapsulate this as well, you do need to make sure that you do have the correct thickness there, or else your nail's going to be really weak and it will just snap. So once I'm happy with that bit, I'll wait for that to set. Sorry, Amelia's here with me watching. I'll wait for that to set and then I'll move on to the next finger. So on the middle finger, I'm just going in with a thin layer of the clear acrylic again, but this time I'm going to let that set because I'm going to be going in with a colour. And on the index finger, we're going to do a reverse French. So here I'm going in with CJP Birthday Suit. And I'm just applying that to the nail and then sort of patting and dragging that up to where I want the extended nail bed to finish. And then I just use the side of my brush just to give it a bit of shape. Not too worried about the shape because I will go in and file it anyway. And then I'll go in at the cuticle area. This time the bead of acrylic is a little bit wetter, just so that it really sinks into that cuticle area, but do not let it touch the cuticle. So while that one's setting, I'll move back to the middle finger, and here I'm going to go in with this gorgeous burgundy red colour, and this is the Glam and Glitz Betty, and it's just such a nice colour. I love it, perfect for Christmas. As you know, Glam and Glitz is a bit of a wetter system, but once you get the hang of it, it's really, really easy to work with. I love it. And I'm just going to go in with this colour on the whole nail. Then with a small wet bead of acrylic, I pick up some of the glitter that we used on the pinky finger, and I'm just sort of dragging that in a swirly shape across the nail. I don't really know how to explain it. Do you know how to explain it, Amelia?
No.
You don't know how to explain it. So yeah, just applying that wherever you want it on that nail.
Yeah.
And it just seemed that this was the shape I was going for. The more I look at it now as well, the more I think it looks like a question mark. But it looked pretty. So now that section of the colour block is fully set, I just go in with a 100 grit file and just file that edge just to make sure it's nice and sharp, so that when we press the other coloured acrylic up against it, it will be nice and crisp. And make sure you get the dust away as well. Then for the next section, I'm going in with the Glam and Glitz Betty. This time I'm draining the back of the bead just so it doesn't run too much, but it does still run a little bit. But it was fine. And I'm just going to press that right up against that colour section. It doesn't matter if you go over it because you are going to be filing this nail anyway. So don't worry if it looks an absolute mess like mine does. It won't in the end. And again, just using the belly and the tip of my brush just to get that nice, sort of nice, neat line. Then whilst that's setting, I'll move back on to the next nail. I got dust all over that nail, which was annoying, but I just wiped it off with a brush, it was fine. So all I'm going to do now to this one is encapsulate this in the CJP crystal glass. And just make sure that that whole nail and all of the glitter is matte when you encapsulate, just so that you know you've covered every bit of glitter. On the index finger here, I'm just going to go in with my nail file and just file around that smile line, just so that it's nice and crisp when we put the colour up against it. Here I'm just going in with my hand file just to sharpen up that extended nail bed area and make sure the smile line is nice and crisp. And then I go in with the Glam and Glitz Betty. And then I will be doing a glitter fade on this one, so I just let that set for a little bit before I apply the glitter. Here I'm going in with the CJP birthday suit, and I'm just applying that to the nail bed area and just fading that up a tiny bit. And then we're going to go in with the glitter once again and do another little swirly design. And then I will let that set and also encapsulate that in clear as well. Now that the index finger has set a little bit, I'm just going in and applying a small amount of the glitter using a tiny bead of the crystal glass, and I'm applying it more to up against the smile line, and then I just drag it down a tiny bit to try and create a little bit of a fade, and then I will let that set. Now I'm going to go in and encapsulate the pinky just using the crystal glass, and once again make sure that all of your glitter has gone matte, because that way you know that you've encapsulated all of it. Once again here I'm going in with my file and just sharpening up that edge, and then I'm going to go back in again with a bead of the bright white from CJP with exactly the same technique. Back to the ring finger again, going in with a file, and then I'm going to go in this time with a small bead of the crystal glass, and I just dip that into the glitter and apply that to the nail where I want that part of the colour block to be, and then over the glitter I will go in over the top of it with the CJP Crystal Glass, just because I don't want to file any of that glitter away. And then I'll do exactly the same technique. So once that's set, I'll let that, no, once that's set, I'll then go in with a file and file that part. And then I finish off that nail by going in again with the Glam and Glitz Betty. So I'm not going to talk for that bit because I think you can all see what I'm doing and you're probably getting bored of me saying, so we're going to file, blah, blah, blah. So I'll just let you guys watch this part and then I'll jump back in. So once all the nails were fully dry, I went in with my hand file and just filed all of those nails around the cuticle area of the surface, and then I shaped them, and then I went over with my buffing block. But I just wanted to keep this one in because I wanted to show you it doesn't matter how messy it looks, once you get the file on it, it will look really, really nice. So I do use my E-file for this bit just because there is quite a lot of bulk to get off. But then I also go in with my 100 grit nail file, and usual filing really, file around the cuticle area, the side walls, and also the free edge to shape that nail, and then over the surface as well. And then once I was happy with the shape, I went in and buffed that one with my buffing block. Here I'm just going in, getting rid of the dust, and then using a nail brush with some gel residue wipe off solution on it, and just scrubbing those nails to make sure I get all the dust around from the cuticle area and also underneath the nail. So on the index finger, I decided I wanted to add a little bit of gold. So I decided to go in with one of the cuticle cuffs from Glitterarty nails. And to apply this, I just used some nail glue. And then I'm just pressing that down, and it sort of grips around the nail, if that makes sense. And I just push it in as much as I can. And then I will also apply a tiny bit of glue up against that just to make sure that it is really secure. And then I'm just going to go in here with the Madam Glam No Wipe Top Coat and apply that to all of the nails. You want to make sure that the index finger, the glue has fully dried before you apply your top coat. Then once I've applied that, I'll let that set in my LED lamp for 1 minute. Get my client to take her hands out, and then I will apply some cuticle oil. And that's it. So I really hope you like this tutorial. I'm absolutely obsessed with this set. I think they're really cute, and I think they're classy, and they're just very Christmassy. So if you liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, don't forget to click the subscribe button. And I will see you all in my next tutorial. Bye!